Welcome back to NITE Economics, and today we're going to continue talking about gold. So right now I'm looking at the SPDR gold share. So this is an ETF, and to me this one is looking very, very bullish. Like I have said in one of my previous videos, I think gold is not done yet. I think its run is going to continue, and I think it's going to retest its previous all-time high of $5,600 more or less per ounce of gold, and probably create a higher high going into the end of Q1, possibly even Q2 of this year, before coming down significantly. And I think right now this one is looking very, very bullish. It's more obvious in this SPDR gold shares and in the actual gold price, because now gold is starting to especially if it closes, this is a weekly look, if it closes this above this previous closing high. So the previous closing high was $444 per share, and it's currently sitting at 467. So if it closes above this, I would say it's ready to retest the previous all-time high of 509 bucks per share. It'd be ready to really retest, if not break that previous high, and from there it's about just under 10% from current price action. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that happening in the next week or two. And if we also look at the gold, the actual gold spot price right now, you could see that it's well within this, in between the 50% retracement level and the spot 618 level. And if it doesn't get rejected here, I mean, this already looks super bullish. And from a closing basis, looks very, very bullish. And I think if it closes this week here or above, especially if it closes above the 618, pretty much above $5,140, I would say it's pretty much ready to retest the previous all-time high, if not go significantly higher, but it'll go higher. I don't know where. I'm not too sure where it could stop, but hitting this number here I think hitting the $6,000 mark would be a possible area of interest. And if we look at silver is kind of it's lagging behind, doesn't look nowhere near as bullish. I don't think silver will particularly get as high as gold. Like I've talked in my previous video, silver has been known, historically speaking, to top before gold comes down. Gold continues to run and creates new all-time highs, while silver creates a lower high. So I wouldn't be surprised if silver gets anywhere within this pocket, right? So between the spot 382, which is between $90 and $102, I think is fair game for silver to get up to that region. And yeah, so we're talking about from current price action. If it gets to the $90, it's about 7.5% more or less. I didn't even get that perfectly, but let's see. Let me try to do that again. Yeah, so it's like about almost 8%. If it gets to the 50% retracement level, it's 15%, and if we get to the 0 spot 618, it's 22%. So those are big numbers, right? So I wouldn't be surprised to see silver get somewhere in this range before creating a lower high and then coming back down significantly. And I wouldn't be surprised to see silver down in this region, the 50, somewhere between the 45 and the $54 dollar price per ounce sometime later this year. And then we'll talk about Bitcoin real quick, and I'll wrap up today's analysis. So if we look at the price of Bitcoin priced in gold, I think it's really bottomed here. We're looking at a weekly. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. If this week closes here and anywhere below pretty much 14.1%, it'll be 5 weeks in a row where Bitcoin has had a red week versus gold, and it doesn't happen very frequently. So we had one here, and then we had a green, right? We had 4 and then green. 4 and then green. Previous one, yeah, so same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a couple of green weeks. Yeah, so this would be the 5th one, and more than 5, excuse me, hasn't happened in a long time here. You have 4 and then green, you have 3 green. It's just not something that doesn't happen very often that you have more than 4 red weeks in a row. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, you have 5 here. So the last time that happened was in 2022 during the last bear market. So, you know, it's more likely to happen during a bear market, of course. Here you have 3 and these were massive, but then the bull run continued to a slightly higher high previously there in 2022. Let's try to go back through history. So we have one example of 5 weeks in a row, and that was in the 2022 bear market. Excuse me. Here we have another example of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row, and that was during the Corona dump of 2020. Here we have 2. Yeah, and even during this bear market here, the 2018 bear market, you don't have them, and it was a lot more volatile, right? Like you had 1 week, 2 weeks down, 1 week, well, I mean, kind of, it was a green week, but barely. So you could pretty much say this was 4 weeks in a row. I guess you could say that, and then you had a big bounce, and then you had another 2 weeks down, and a little bounce, another week down, and then a bigger bounce, and then it was just kind of oscillating back and forth quite a bit until you got here where you had a massive dump. But even so, you only had 2 weeks in a row. So I mean, I guess you get my point. I'm not going to show any more examples, but yeah, so if we get another red week here, I wouldn't be surprised to see some kind of a relief bounce here from Bitcoin. Now, whether that's gold going down, I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe what's more likely to happen is that Bitcoin gets a bit of a rally from here going into next week. Doesn't have to be a huge rally, but somewhat of a rally, because at some point Bitcoin is going to want to reconnect with this 5 exponential moving average on the weekly, and historically speaking, it doesn't want to live very far away from that exponential moving average before creating another move up to or to the downside, right? It's going to want to reconnect. So we got to see at the end of this week where this red moving average is, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think you're going to see a bit of a bounce from gold. It doesn't necessarily have to be a significant bounce, but definitely going to see a bounce. And yeah, so I think this is like a bit of a bottoming region for Bitcoin. Excuse me. Especially when you price it in gold. I don't see Bitcoin getting this low. I just don't really see that happening. From current price action, Bitcoin would have to break down in gold terms like 35%, and I don't see that happening. I can see Bitcoin going down a little bit lower, maybe to the 10.7, maybe that low, but even that, I just don't really see it happening. We are getting to like a bit of a bottoming region here in gold versus Bitcoin here, and you could see the RSI is in very, very low levels that we haven't seen, I think, pretty much forever. Yeah, this is the lowest RSI has ever been in this particular chart. So I just don't really see it happening, getting much lower. But the BBWP does continue to expand, so I do think we're probably going to see probably a bit more of a volatile price action. Maybe we're going to get a bit of a bounce from Bitcoin from current price action, and it's currently sitting at around $67,000 as of February 11th. So so we'll see what happens. But yeah, my base case, I think we're going to see a rally from gold from current price action. I think we're going to also see a bit of a relief rally from Bitcoin as well, and silver is going to follow gold and create a lower high at some time in Q1 or possibly Q2. So that's all I have for today, guys. If you're liking the content, like, subscribe, drop a comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.